We have an issue today that I can't see who's writing in. I can see all the comments, but I don't know who they're coming from. And one of the writers says, love this show. Wow. Can't get this on any other show. RPS rocks. And that's true. From Nick Kiprios over to Dave Struch. I didn't even know, Struchy, that you were from Flin Flon. I had no idea. That explains a lot.
It explains a lot for sure. But I'll tell you what, it's in the blood. It's
Did ever.
It's probably the biggest thing that's preventing me from getting COVID right now. So I'm very grateful for it.
How tough you are.
It's in the blood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good for you. Head coach of the Regina Pats right here. And you were just marveling at the Kiprios interview. Oh. You played 4 games in the big show from 93-94. You got to tell the story, please, that you just told us in the break. This is unbelievable, folks.
Wes Walz and myself, we get called up to play where my first game is going to be against the Rangers.
With the Flames.
With the Flames. I was in St. John at the time, and I got a good opportunity. We hopped on a plane, little puddle jumper out of St. John, flew into New York. Wes Walz and I hopped in a limo, took it to the rink, and at that time I had no idea what Madison Square Garden was. I knew the history and everything.
You're from Flin Flon, for God's sake.
So, got in the limo, got to the rink. Security took us to the elevator, and we got in the elevator, and he pushed the 5th floor. And that was the first step of the surprise. Walked out. We're on the 5th floor of the building. The Knicks were playing against the Magic that night, so Patrick Ewing, Shaq O'Neal, it was pretty special. It was a neat thing to be involved in the night before the players were coming in with the Flames from Calgary. And we dropped our gear off. We came out of the dressing room where we dropped our gear off, and I looked back, and there was Wes. He was behind me about 10 yards, and behind him was Shaquille O'Neal. Well, he's the same age as me, or a year younger. And it was incredible, the aura, the energy, the look of this human being behind Wes Walz, who was the same size as me. And it was really neat. And we ended up going back to the hotel, coming back and watching this game 4 rows back on the floor. And that was my first NBA game. So it was a really good experience, not only to be called up NHL, first NHL game, but all of the things that, that accompany it when you get called up and things you get to be part of.
Mm-hmm. How'd the game go?
The next night, the Rangers were actually on a 17-game heater. They had won 17 straight, and we were an injury-depleted lineup with the Flames. We had already lost 4 or 5 guys from the junior Flames up to the big guys. Wes Walz and I were, probably 5 and 6. We were all in the lineup, and we beat them 4-3.
Come on, you ended the winning streak.
We ended the winning streak. So it was a really special feeling to be a part of something like that. Dave King was our coach back then, and like I said, it was something that's when you get a situation or an opportunity like that, it was really special to be part of.
No kidding. I'm surprised they didn't sign you to a whopper of a contract after that. You're probably surprised too.
Well, it was, It was something like that I had been in the organization for 3 years. It was, the Flames were great to me. I went through an injury-riddled minor career. I was a career minor leaguer, and they signed me 3 different times, and that was my time in with the Flames.
In the big show. Yeah. Wow.
What a great day.
Great day we're having today. Yeah. Yeah, my mind's going all over the place. It's funny because Kipper said the Flames are his number 1 Canadian NHL team, and I said the same. You're Flames alum. Who would you have as your top?
I like his first 2 choices. I think that with Vancouver, they're an exciting young group. They got good leaders there. Bo Horvat has done a fantastic job. That's really special. With the Flames, the goaltending is going to be a big part of it as well. I'm partial to Holtby going to Vancouver because we had him in Saskatoon as a young kid. But I think those would be the top 2. I like that. The rest of it's a crapshoot for me. I think in the future, Ottawa, what they've done over the last couple of months has been really special for that city, that organization, and the future. Toronto, I like their skill. How they can piece it together, I'm not sure. So.
Well, for Ottawa, nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
And I had Montreal at number 2, and the only reason, there's 2 reasons. One, I just wanted to avoid the Western bias. We don't see him as much as we see the other teams. I don't want to be that guy always picking Western teams. And 2, Craig Button had him number 1. I'm thinking, well, if Craig has him that high, there must be a reason.
Yeah.
But I would maybe exchange Vancouver and Montreal. But gosh, it's nice to talk about it, isn't it?
It is. It's great. I can't wait. It's been an exciting couple of weeks for us here in Regina, for hockey, for the fans. I know they've tried to get things going in Quebec. Been some inconsistencies there. I think us waiting here is going to be the positive behind it all. And like you said, the excitement, the energy, it should be here. Hopefully we can get the Bedard kid up and running and be fun for all of us.
Did you catch the interview with him yesterday by chance?
I didn't, Rod, but I'm guessing it was like you were talking to a 25-year-old NHL player.
I feel this big talking to him. I feel like
it is truly a special thing. I've been in constant contact with him. I've watched him play 2 of his 3 games there with HV71. It's such a good relationship for us, the agent, the team, and most importantly for Connor for him to be able to play and develop. And in the end, I mean, I look at, obviously for us, selfishly in Regina as an organization, for the fans in Regina. This is my 7th year here, so I'm invested in the community, the city. But if you look at Canada, the future, what it holds for all of us in the country, hopefully see him play in a Team Canada jersey someday and win some medals and help us here in Regina. And again, back to him, the development for such a great young man, because he is a young man at 15 years old.
I can't even.
Yeah.
Were you at 15? How mature were you?
Not like this. I mean, the first time we spoke, I mean, he hadn't turned 15 yet, and it was like you were talking to a kid that, or a pro player already. He's driven. His family is very respectable to where he's gonna go and what he's done for himself, and the commitment to everything and working with everybody, and just the fact that he wasn't concerned about who he's being drafted by. There's so much of that in the world of sport these days, and it didn't even cross his mind, and that has a credit to his family and who he is.
This interview is going to come up shortly at dubnetwork.ca. I'm writing for that article, or that website. I've quoted you a couple times on it, so I'm not spilling any beans here. I was in Moose Jaw last week sitting across the desk from Al Miller, and he said that the 5 games that they can have Braden Yager in, it'll be against the Pats and Connor Bedard. He said you guys have worked it out already.
It's awesome. Those kids, I tell you what, right, because Yager's really good. Good size, good speed. I think that's good for hockey in the Western League. It'll be great for hockey in Saskatchewan. And I think that that's something that if you ever get a chance to do that, and I know that John and Alan are really close, and having done that and worked it out is something that we should all look forward to.
Yeah, well, the only thing is my fingers are crossed you're going to play. I'm not shooting any texts out. I'm not doing any digging. If I report anything, it's because somebody called me. I don't want to jinx this. I'm worried. We're all worried, are we not?
Well, we were. I'm not anymore.
Okay.
Everything for me is we're playing. We've been through enough different rescheduling and different things with our players. We're Zooming once a week, and we communicate with them. We ask them questions. How are they feeling? This one is as legit as it can be. Hopefully by the end of this week, we have more of a solid schedule that we can look at. In the end, it's going to be out of our hands, but we're doing everything we can right now that, by the beginning of December, we're shooting for right after Christmas training camp and start at the beginning of January.
I guess the only question I have is Ron Robinson was on here last week, and I don't want to lead you down any garden path here, so stop. You won't say anything you're not comfortable with, but he was non-committal on the U.S. states, because the one statement I'd heard was you're not going to play if they can't, right? The states division.
Yeah.
So do we know anything?
We have no idea, and it is a day-to-day, up and down battle. With COVID, not with anything else. There is a little bit of a different aspect going on in the States with different rioting and things like that could take place or have taken place in the past. I know it's settled down now. Crossing the border, a lot of that is political as well. So there's things like that are taking place that are way out of our hands. But I think when you look at the possibility of us playing in Saskatchewan and adding the 2 teams from Manitoba, we're as close as can be as any of the other provinces or states.
Mm-hmm. Well, the one thing I'm trying to be open-minded enough to realize that even Al Miller said to me, Rod, we're not a priority. We're not a priority to the government. And I'm kind of at a point of going, if you're not, who is? Because it's still an industry, The business side of it, for sure, we want to look at that. But
I tell you what, I'm a big believer in the young adult, the young athlete these days, and developing these kids, guiding them and giving them opportunities, putting them in environments and energy-given opportunities, and they're missing the most.
Yeah.
You know, as much fun as this is on the set here, this is fantastic. I love what you guys have done. In the end, we can talk about sports over and over and over again, but the future of sports is on these young kids that we need to get developed and get them involved in different things. And it's not just the kids at 7 to 14, 20 years old. It's the young athlete that's playing in the NHL. These kids are all missing out in every form of athletics, and it's something that we need to get back going.
From one of our viewers, WHL is the best league after the NHL, in my honest opinion. Go Pats, go! I think it's the best league, including the NHL, for the reasons of purity. And as Darren and I talked about yesterday, it's perfectly imperfect. I love the mistakes. You hate them. But that's what makes the games fun.
Well, the mistakes make us better, so we don't mind that. That's one of the messages for the Bedard kid. Go out there and try everything. And when you make the mistake, we'll guide you. We'll show you a video. Now you can correct it. And that's going to be one of the best parts about it for us.
He said he's made a few over there.
Yeah, or he makes mistakes every time he's on the ice. But he's a good learner, and he's receptive to it. He wants to be the best.
And what is your take, please, on Western Leaguers playing Junior A?
Well, I flip-flop hourly. Selfishly, at the end of it all, we hope that our guys who may possibly go right now, we've got Zach Smith, who is our only one. We have got 5 or 6 other ones that agents have called and asked, players who have asked for our advice, because in the end they have to make the final decision. The decision by our league is to let them go till the December 20th date, and then after Christmas, when we start our training camp, is to get them back with us. So, back to the development side of it, the best thing for all of these young players is to develop is to play some games right now. They've been skilling to death. They've been training. They want to play hockey games. We want them to play hockey games. If that's the best route, then I think it's a good thing. But the players that are already there that are getting bumped out are being hurt. And that is a very unfortunate side to it. The trickle-down effect is devastating, I think, because those players are missing development now. So,
sure. It's not a perfect scenario.
No, I think it's a terrible scenario. But rightfully so. You ask anybody that's hip to the whole thing, they would say exactly that. But we're a product of the environment, and it's you guys said it earlier. I mean, what's best for me?
Unfortunately,
and it is the unfortunate side of what COVID has done to us, because as much as we'd all like to be playing and in our different sports and doing it, it's not just sports either, the business side of it. You know, how many people are still working from home when they want to be in the office atmosphere and being a part of a team somewhere, because it's not just the sport, that's the team aspect. So,
and be happy you're working at all. You know, there's that. Sure. But just selfishly, just a quick question. Like the development, we've heard it several times here today. Ron Robinson brings it up all the time. You know, when they announced the exceptional status, he said, we're excited to allow Connor the ability to continue his development in the Western Hockey League. When you played 88 to 92, it was development too, but it was winning.
Oh, yeah.
What's more important?
Well, winning is, because it's the business side of it for the organizations, it's survival as well, and you have to win games to get fans. Playoffs, there's a lot of it to that. When I played, it was a little more raw, and it was.
You wanted to win. You weren't there to develop, were you?
No, we didn't start until training camp. We trained in the gym. We lifted. We trained way different than the way these guys train now. We didn't have personal trainers. It was 5-6 guys that were skating together, that were into the gym together, and we pushed each other in the gym. And it wasn't every day. These kids are going hard. It's incredible what they do. But the development side of it right now is enormous. These kids are individually driven by a personal trainer, by their parents, by their agents. We didn't have any of that. It was self-motivation completely. And that's the way our coaches coached us. It was they motivated us more than coaching
Marcel
us.
Como?
Marcel Como, Terry Ruskowski, Lorne Mulliken. And Lorne Mulliken to this day, best coach.
Really?
Yeah. Really, really hard on us. My last year, my 20-year-old year, I came back from Salt Lake City. And to this day, going to the playoffs, we lost to got pumped by Kamloops Game 7. We lost
Everybody
7-1.
does.
It was incredible. But we were a bunch of nobodies. Glenn Gulletson was another 20-year-old, myself, and Jeff Buchanan. We were, like I said, just a grinder group. We made it to the finals. And at the end of that year, I looked back at how hard Lorne was on us, and that was the reason we got as far as we did. To this day, one of the best.
Did you hate him at the time?
Hated him. It was so hard. He was mean. Every day was a battle for us. He didn't take a day off from getting on us for anything. It wasn't the details of the game. It was the details of us as our work ethic, our character, and challenging us every day to do that. And it's what a lot of that is the way I coach right now. Obviously, learning a lot from what I've been through with Hockey Canada and the individual development side of it is more of what I've learned for this day and age, the way the game's played. But a lot of the way I coach as a person and deal with the individuals is on the character and the work ethic that I demand as a coach was demanded of me when I was younger. And Lorne was one of them. I had Bob Francis as another when I played minor in the minors. And those are two guys that demanded character, work ethic, and energy. And we demand it of our players.
I tell Darren, and we were talking about it on the weekend we went to Saskatoon, 14,000 at Sask Place for a game. Yeah. Who would believe it?
Incredible.
It was unreal. It was the best.
Yeah.
One more before I let you go. From Mike Sissons. You know the great Mr. Sizz. Let's get some serious questions going. Ask David where the best post-game meal in the league is. If I may, it used to be Cabot's. Veal cutlets and spaghetti and Swifty in the mall. There's many. They're all good, but what's your favorite?
Well, it's going to hurt me to say this because I know where Sizz is right now, and I know Habby, Mark Habscheid, and Jeff Truitt, but Prince Albert is the best post-game meal.
Oh, in the rink?
In the Western Hockey League.
In the rink?
In the rink. Turkey, pierogies, cabbage rolls, the veggies. It's every post-game is a full-on Christmas dinner.
And you order it. Who does the ordering?
Brad Haroff does most of the ordering. Landon Watson, our video guy. We had Gord Pritchard with our organization who helps with all of that. So we do everything by committee. We do it all in the middle of June after the scheduling usually. But we have our staples wherever we go, and Prince Albert is the best one.
I thought you were going to say Venice House.
Oh, no.
It used to be pretty good too, though.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sissons knew the answer. That's why he asked the question. All right, Dave. Next time you come back, we'll do more of these questions from the viewers. What do you say?
Yeah. No, that's great.
Good luck. I can't wait to see you guys out there.
Thanks.
You are my favorite team. You know that.
I do.
Dave Struch, the head coach of the Regina Pats, joining us here.
You're watching Rod Pedersen on demand. For more of the Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.